Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Bryndis, and today we are going to rearrange and change around my bookshelves. The story of these bookshelves is that they are a Danish vintage design, and I'm actually going to link a video below from my other YouTube channel when I actually was sampling them and originally organizing them last year before I actually started this booktube channel. So you can see, I talk a little bit about the history of like who designed them and everything, but they are vintage bookshelves that are no longer available, at least not here in Iceland. I had planned on taking these, moving them to a different wall and adding a section, because they are very versatile bookshelves in that you can actually add just like endless sections if you want. But they are very expensive. And I went to a place where this guy restores them and sells them, and he's selling them for a lot of money. So I don't want to buy, I can restore them myself. So that's what I've been doing with these. Some of these I got from my parents. Some of these I got at the thrift store and like just sanded them down and put like teak oil on them because they are teak veneer, I think. And so I'm gonna adding a section to them on ice for now, because I don't wanna go and buy Billy bookcases or something like that, although I think they are perfectly nice and lovely. I just really want to use these old vintage bookshelves, and I want to add to these, but I don't want to buy them. I want to try to find them at the thrift store. So I will be going to the thrift store on a regular basis to see what I like find there, but I'm not gonna buy them like super expensively. Like that's not within my budget, unfortunately. I would love to do that. Then I could just finish my design and be done with it, but that's not the budget of a teacher academic. So anyway, I love these bookcases. They are so beautiful. And I actually have one section at my parents' house, but I don't want to like take it from them. So what I'm gonna do today in this video is, first of all, I'm gonna take all of these books down and do a really good spring clean. Wipe everything down, clean the books and all the knickknacks. I don't have a lot of knickknacks because for some reason my book collection has just been growing a lot the last few months. I have no idea why. It's very strange. But so I'm going to take everything down, clean everything, and then I'm gonna add shelves. If I can show you, I think 3 or 4 shelves that I'm gonna add to the section here, and then on this section I'm gonna put I have a low Billy bookcase that I can put that fits exactly in there. So, and then, little by little, I will be adding more shelves so that, eventually there will be only these vintage shelves all around. But we have to do things sensibly, unfortunately, and be smart about things, which is no fun, but it is what it is, basically. And I think that it's gonna look perfectly fine the way I'm gonna do it. So I really look forward to it. I did have a TV under here, and there are 2 reasons for why I'm moving the TV. One is because I need more space for books. So I need more shelves for books. And another one is also that this is like a, I don't know, it's not like a wall that has, it's not the wall that's keeping the house from falling down. What do you call it? Anyway, and so eventually I'm going to remove this wall and move it a little bit closer to me where I'm standing, and close off. You can see a little bit there in my bedroom. I'm gonna close off the bedroom again. So this is a 1-bedroom apartment, but I tore down a wall, and so technically now it's a studio apartment, but I want to make it back into a 1-bedroom. So, and I need to take down this wall because it's just old and ugly, and redo things a little bit. So I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but that's the plan for sure. But I also don't want to have a TV under there because, as I said, this is not necessarily the sturdiest of wall, and even though I fastened them quite securely to the wall, I do live in earthquake territory, so if we have a big earthquake, they're all gonna come crumbling down on my TV, and that wouldn't be fun. So, and I'm not sure if insurance might just say, well, stupid you shouldn't have had your TV there, so they wouldn't maybe not reimburse me. But anyway, so those are the 2 reasons. Mainly is because I really need more shelves because I keep buying books. And it's lovely. I love it. But okay, so basically now I'm gonna do like a mixture of music as I'm doing things, music, and you might see me change clothes because maybe I'm not necessarily gonna do this all today. There's really no rush and no need to stress about it. So anyway, I look forward to showing you the final results, but first let us enjoy the process of organizing my beautiful bookshelves.
Come on, soft, turn the key and cooler on. Push a pause for relief. Free pass, you don't even have to ask to be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through. Today I've got better things to do. Okay, to leave a little bit undone and be the cat in the sun. Be the cat in the sun. Set aside every empty spreadsheet line and loosen up on the grind. Simmer down, settle back and mess around.
So people, here we have it. My bookshelves are ready. So I apparently have plenty of room for more books, which is always good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just now go over each shelf and kind of show you kind of how I'm organizing and kind of categorizing, like my thinking behind how I organize my books. So I'm starting here at the top and just giving you a little bit of an overview from the top down. And yeah, so there's lots of room here. If we'll just start here, this top shelf here, these are some of my Icelandic novels. These are mostly crime, like thrillers, and then they kind of continue down here. So these are a few of my favorite authors, and I'm very much into kind of like Nordic noir, detective, the flawed detective type of book. Sorry if I'm shaking. And I think I'm gonna continue then on to the other side. So I'm sorry about the light here. This is really bad setup, but it's what I have to work with. So on the top shelf there, I have, I start here with biographies. All of these are biographies. We have Jane Austen, and then some Icelandic guy, Charles Dickens, Anne Frank, and then some more Icelandic people. And then I move on to like mythology, some philosophy, and things like that. In the mythology section, the books I have here are Stephen Fry's Mythos, Trojan Heroes, as you can see, and Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology. And then I have there the Odyssey and the Iliad by Homer, Thomas More's Utopia, A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft, and A Modest Proposal by Jonathan Swift. So these are kind of non-fiction. And then if we move to the shelf below, again, Icelandic author. This is Yrsa Sigurðardóttir. She is, so far at least, has been my favorite Icelandic crime author. This is her best book ever. It's so good and very creepy. And yeah, so here we have her. And then below we have mostly classics, literary fiction, historical fiction, poems, fantasy, and things like that. In this shelf, if we start here, this is my poetry and some short stories as well. As you can see, I have Shakespeare here. I have some Icelandic poetry and Icelandic sagas. Some poetry here. I have Yeats, Maupassant, Shelley, and other Icelandic authors. And you have my Keadmil Felte, I think is how you say it, 1,000 welcomes in Irish. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's broken, but I love it too much to throw it away. And of course, my Irish bog cat. And then below that one, we have kind of my fiction, non-Icelandic fiction that is. So as we go closer, here is well, this one is not fiction, but I decided to keep it here. Probably maybe I should put it up with the non-fiction. It's kind of like a memoir, but it's here at the moment at least. Isabel Allende, Dan Brown, Jessie Burton, Piranesi by Susan Clarke, Elena Ferranti. This was my favorite book last year. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. The other Bennett sisters also a big favorite. And then we have Claire Keegan. I love this one. It's a Japanese book, If Cats Disappeared from the World. Hilary Mantel's Wolf Hall. Oh, they're in the wrong order. Okay, I have to fix that. Madeline Miller, I love her, and I've read Song of Achilles. I haven't read Circe yet, but I need to read it very soon. Then we have Sally Rooney and Donald Ryan, some Irish authors. And then here I have kind of a fantasy section. It's very small, but yeah. And Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I really enjoyed that. I read it very not long time ago. Brandon Sanderson, Way of Kings, The Three-Body Problem. And then I have the first two books of the Discworld by Terry Pratchett, and of course Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman that I loved so much. And then here below that we have my Tolkien collection. So these are The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy in an Icelandic translation. These are out of print, so these are quite, actually, somewhat valuable, but I love them. I inherited them from my brother, and they are very precious to me. And here I have Lord of the Rings that I bought when I was in Wellington in New Zealand, at the Vita workshop. A very lovely bracelet. Here you have my collection. It is growing. I'm slowly adding to it. So I have the Silmarillion, and then I have the Beren and Luthien and the Children of Húrin. And then, of course, the trilogy and the Hobbit. And there are definitely several stories that a few more, not several, there are a couple of more stories by Tolkien that I want to read. And I would also love to get like a biography of his and maybe look into what his son Christopher has been doing, if that's something that might interest me, because I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. And then here I have the special extended DVD edition of the original trilogy, or the trilogy. And I love it. I watched it so many times. I watched all the different commentaries so many times. I mean, I'm obsessed. In my little Edvard Munch Scream can here, I have some bookmarks that I got. I don't have a lot of them. I don't find it necessary to have a lot of them. This one was gifted to me from a Singaporean friend. This one I got in Crete, in Greece. This one was gifted to me from a child when I stopped, when she left the preschool I used to work in. It's so cute. Thank you for helping me write a chapter in my story. Isn't that just, oh my God, she was like 5 when she left me. And then I have these 3 here that I actually bought, or actually got for free when I was in Maynooth. So these are, was made by students at the a school in Maynooth. So that's pretty cool. So that's kind of that side of the shelf. And then down here I'm gonna keep this space empty because I want this to be kind of my TBR shelf. So the books that I'm going to be reading each month, if I have hard copies of them, I'm gonna put them here. And then here you just have my beautiful lava lamp, no, not my lava, saltstone lamp, and candles and stuff that I keep in there. And then these are just books I kind of shoved in there, my recipe books, and just fun things that I have, that I want to keep, and I don't really have anywhere else to keep them. These are kind of odd size and they're just difficult to put in shelves. And down there I actually have my Harry Potter collection that I'm gonna give away, and another book that I don't know where to put. So, and then we move to the other side. So here was the Irsa, the collection that I have there, and then below here we have my classics and modern classics. So they have grown into the third shelf. I have quite a lot of classics. I have here Little Women, then my Jane Austen, Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. I have the Charlotte, all the Brontes, Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and here I have several of Charles Dickens's books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his books. So that's pretty cool. And here is Dostoevsky. So this is The Idiot, and here is Crime and Punishment. And then I have a collection of Sherlock Holmes's by Arthur Conan Doyle. We have here, oh my goodness, Middlemarch by George Eliot, and The Mill on the Floss in Silas Marner, the 3 books by her that I have. I have The Great Gatsby, Madame Bovary, and then I have 4 books by Elizabeth Gaskell that I really enjoy. I've read Cranford, I really enjoyed that, and I've also read her biography of Charlotte Bronte, but I want to try to get to her, within the next couple of years. I would really like to read probably all of her work. I have here Goethe, Thomas Hardy, Ernest Hemingway, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, Aldous Huxley, Brave New World, Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House, Henry James's Turn of the Screw, and then James Joyce's Dubliners and Ulysses. I have read Dubliners and I absolutely loved it, and so I really want to read this one. The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka. This is a really interesting story. I mean, it is actually true crime, so I don't know if it should be here, but it takes place in the 19th century. Maybe I will put it rather with historical fiction, although it is true. So I don't know exactly where to put it, to be honest. I have Beloved by Toni Morrison, and then here I have the Penguin Book of Murder Mysteries, which I think is very interesting. Animal Farm, some works by Edgar Allan Poe, of course Frankenstein. I would love to get like a special edition of Frankenstein. Mice and Men, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dracula, and then Tolstoy's War and Peace and Anna Karenina. So huge books. And then here we have Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton, Oscar Wilde, The Importance of Being Earnest in Other Plays, and The Picture of Dorian Gray, and then Virginia Woolf's The Lighthouse. So as you can see, I have plenty of room to grow my classics collection. Although I have promised myself not to buy any more classics until I've read, because there are several in here that I actually haven't read yet. And then, yeah, you can see that I have my thinker, my cactus, and just some decorative items. So here we have Stephen King and Agatha Christie, who are two authors that I am collecting. The Stephen King's books that I have are Carrie, The Shining, Salem's Lot, The Stand, Long Walk, and Firestarter. I also have Firestarter translated into Icelandic. I have read all of these except The Shining and The Stand, and there are a few more books. Christine that I started to read and I haven't finished. I want to buy that one. So basically these are all published in his first 10 years of publishing books or writing books, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm reading him in publication order. So there are definitely several books, because he would write sometimes 2 books a year. So there are definitely several books that I need still from the first decade that I've either read or that I want to read. And then here we have the Agatha Christie books. I've read everything by Agatha Christie except her plays. So I have The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which is the first Poirot book. The Haunting in Venice, or was also called Halloween Party. The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding, and I think there are I think these are short stories, if I remember correctly, so there are other short stories in there as well. So it's a short story collection, basically. I have The Murder at the Vicarage, which is the first Miss Marple book, and then There Were None, which is my favorite book by her for sure. But I also have 4 Icelandic translations. So this is Lord Edgware Dies. This is The Death on the Nile. This is The Clocks. What was it? Oh, I just checked before I started filming, but Towards Zero, sorry. So Lord Edward Dies, Death on the Nile, The Clocks, and Lord. Yeah, I said it before. Oh my God, I forgot it again. Yes, I have memory issues. Anyway, so here they are. My Agatha Christie, and I want to eventually own all of her books in English, as well as Stephen King's books as well in English, because I like having books in the original language. And then below I just have some different types of books. So this is actually a genealogy book. So these people were my great grandparents. So they were born in I would say around 1820, 1850. And this was one of their sons, Vigfús. And so here is Þorsteinn Vigfús. He is my great great-grandfather. So he had a son called Thorstein as well, and then he had a son called also called Thorstein Vigfús, and he had a son also called Thorstein. And then this would be my grandfather. And he is, where can I find him? Friedrich. Born August 15, 1908. Yeah. I think that's all correct. So here we have my grandfather. He was born actually in 1905. I think it said 1908. I was like confused, but he was born in 1905. So that was a mistake before. And my grandmother, Anna Sofia. And then they had children. And number C is my mom. Sigurlaug Valdís is her name, is like what she's called. Here you have a picture of my aunt and her late husband, and then here you have people that you may know. So my parents, my sister with her 2 boys and her ex-husband. Here is me, and my brother, one of my brothers, and here is one of my brothers, and here is also one of my brothers with his late wife and their baby girl. And then there are just cousins and aunts and uncles and cousins and everything. So that was this book. We love genealogy here in Iceland. And then here's just some history books. Here is actually a novel. This is a very old novel by Jón Thoroddsen, who was an Icelandic author. And as you can see, it's really it's called Man and Woman. And this is the 5th edition, and was published in 1949. This the edition that I have. This is my dad's, so I have borrowed it, but it's like very battered. But it's so tall that it can't really fit into like proper places. And then here I just have some short story and collections and Icelandic and poetry. And some more like folk songs. I think this is actually Anna Karenina translated, the first part. And then I have here the Halldór Laxness books that I'm reading that I borrowed from my parents. So here we have all of my books in my beautiful bookshelves. Looking very lovely and clean and organized and so beautiful for me, at least. I love this aesthetics, this kind of vintage, little bit battered look. And so this is what I'm thinking, to like have my physical TBR be there with as well as my tablet. I like to sometimes play, I don't know what they're called, mahjong or solitaire or something on my tablet if I'm listening to an audiobook. And I also have some tabs and post-it notes, my reading glasses, a pen and a notebook there if I'm in the mood to do that when I'm reading or listening to an audiobook. So here you have my April physical TBR, and the rest of them are audiobooks. I really, really, really love how this is turning out, and it's going to be even more beautiful when I finally remove these lights, because they are very ugly, but that will be done at some point, but not quite yet. Yeah, it's looking lovely, isn't it? I'm very happy with it. So I'm just going to end the video now, and I want to thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. I'm very happy, definitely very happy with my bookshelves at the moment. Again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!